when Moses sent out the 12 spies, the ones that came back and said, oh, is a land flowing with milk and honey, but that they found the descendants of Anak. It was the descendants of Anak in the land, and that next to them they were as grasshoppers. And I said, those people merely strayed into Nigeria. Because when you look at our country, Nigeria, you'll find a place that is unparalleled and incomparable to any other country in the world, unless you consider Congo, the Republic of the old Zaire. Nigeria is blessed with human and material resources, incomparable. We have oil, we have gold, we have everything that should appertain to good life. The Nigerian has no business whatsoever with poverty. But look around us. Nigerians are living in multi-dimensional poverty. And the ruiners of the country, they are living like pashas. They are living the lives of kings and princes. But the people themselves are deliberately impoverished. So it is not out of place to compare Nigeria to that place that was described as consuming its inhabitants, because Nigeria is cannibalistic in the extreme. In recent days, you've heard the story of Okwama, where the soldiers were murdered by a few, and where the soldiers went back with reprisal attacks and leveled almost an entire community, killing indiscriminately. Lekki Toll Gate and the massacre that took place there in October 2020 is another good example of what we have become as a people. Earlier in the year, we were talking about Bokos in Plateau State, where people were killed on Christmas Day like flies. Nigeria is the only place where you find the government talking about repentant terrorists and absorbing them into the army. Nigeria is the only place that will be as rich as it is, and you see people desperately scooping hot food off boiling cauldrons, packing rice with sand. This is the country where the rulers were hiding palliatives meant for people during COVID. Everything about Nigeria is suggestive of the country that the spies entered, where it consumes, it devours. Those are the words. It devours. It's a land that devours its inhabitants. It is instructive that it is this same country that could not find 5 billion for the student loan scheme, that they are busy buying a 160 million naira Jeep. They are praying billions into private accounts. You have people who should be in jail, rotting in prison cells, presiding over the affairs of the country. And you think that it is not succinct that we describe such a country as a place that devours its inhabitants. The Nigerian is busy crossing the Mediterranean Sea after surviving the Sahara and the slave markets of Libya. What are they fleeing from? Because that's not migration. That's fleeing. They are fleeing what has become a functional war zone. How did we get to this point? In my youth, you could go to England without collecting visa. They will stamp your visa at the gate. It's right there at immigration control that they will give you they will stamp your visa to enter. This is the same country today where you require millions to buy ticket and you need to queue. You see our people queuing in the rain and in the sun to get visas to go out. Cefas, West African Cefas, the Togolese currency has more weight than our naira today. How did we get here? So it is, and if you remember this analogy that you are raising from this anecdote is an anecdote that goes back over 10 years. It wasn't this bad then, and it's going to get much worse. So it's unfortunate that we are where we are, but this is where we are. And there is nothing about where we are that is suggestive of any immediate turnaround anytime soon. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I am merely speaking to what I see. There is nothing about our country to encourage hope or offer any worthy aspiration.
Sometimes it's good to listen to people that are more knowledgeable than you because you are going to learn from them. What Dele Farotimi is saying, like, it just blew my mind away because I've read that portion in the Bible and I've never linked it to Nigeria. But when you look at what he's saying and read what happened in the Bible, definitely you will understand what he's saying and you will come to the conclusion that it is the truth. If Mark Zuckerberg was a Nigerian, we will never have Facebook or Meta. If Bill Gates was a Nigerian, we will never have Microsoft. If Elon Musk was a Nigerian, we will never have SpaceX or Tesla. You can go on and mention all the world's greatest inventors and link them to Nigeria. We will never have them. When you look at the history of these men, you will notice that they are who they are today because their country helped them to become who they are. They have an environment that is friendly. They have an environment that grooms their talent. They have an environment that patronizes their product. They have an environment that gave them money to become whom they are, even when they did not have a single naira. Sometimes you hear them say, I took a loan from the bank, and that loan helped me to become who I am today. How many of you Nigerians today with your great idea can go to the bank and take a loan? How many of you can do that? It's not possible. Nigeria is the only country I've seen that is fashioned to work against her citizens. Nigeria is the only country I've seen that is stifling the dreams of her citizens. Nigeria is the only country I've seen that devours her citizens. I'm saying this without mixing words. Nigeria is fashioned to work against her citizens. Something happened recently. The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has banned under 18 from taking WAEC examination. What this means is that if you are not 18 years of age, you cannot take WAEC examination. You cannot take any other senior school examination that will make you to go to the university. We have kids that are fast learners and they learn fast. They tend to climb the ladder in education faster. That means if you have a kid that's a fast learner and that person is 13, 14, 15 years of age and that person is still in the secondary school, the person will need to wait till they get to 18 years before they can write their senior school certificate examination. I don't even know the basis for this ban. I don't even know the basis for these policies. Like, what do they tend to get? What do they tend to achieve with this kind of policies? I don't even understand. In Nigeria currently, we have 18.1 million out-of-school children. This means people that do not have access to primary school education. The basic education, primary, they don't have access to it. These numbers keep increasing every year and the federal government is not even doing anything about it. I am sure under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because of the hardship, many more kids have been thrown into the street. They've left the school, primary education. The federal government is not doing anything. Rather, they are making more policies to ensure that more children keep going back to the street. 18 years before anyone can write senior school certificate examination. But you have there in the north, there are young girls that are 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. They are being married off to alhajas in their 40s, in their 50s. And the federal government is not doing any policies to stop that criminality, to stop that abuse of our girls' child in the north. What a misplaced priority. Nigeria is a country flowing with milk and honey, but we have devourers as our politicians who are devouring the destiny of Nigerians, who are making sure that Nigerians do not survive as Nigerians in their own land. It is a responsibility of every government to take care of her citizens. When you go to other countries, you will see government creating out welfare for their citizens. During the COVID-19 period, you saw how other countries were given money to their citizens. But here in Nigeria, the COVID-19 palliative that were even donated by private bodies to the federal government to be given to Nigerians were hoarded, were kept in warehouses by these politicians to be resold or used for campaign promises. Countries create jobs for their citizens. When you listen to politicians during campaign proceedings in other countries, all of their promises is centered around developing their countries and their citizens. But here in Nigeria, you will not hear any of that. The only time we're able to hear a politician talk passionately about this country, developing it and developing the citizens in this country is the 2023 general election, when Peter Obi spoke passionately how to move this country from consumption to production and how to help the Nigerian youth to grow and become better people in the society. This is 1 year of the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mention one policy that he has made that is people-centric, policies that is geared towards the people to help alleviate the pains and the suffering of Nigerians. But rather, when you look at all the policies that he has churned out, these policies are made to impoverish Nigerians the more. All his policies are made to take money out of Nigerians towards the coffers of government. All his policies are made to add more hardship and pain on the life of Nigerians. All his policies are made to stifle the dreams of Nigerians. In Nigeria, the politicians who are not even up to 1% of the population are given more attention, are given more priorities, more than the citizens that are 99.9%. Look at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ever since he came in. He has spent more money taking care of the National Assembly, the judiciary, and every other people in the corridors of power more than the Nigerian people. Politicians are the ones that have access to the nation's resources, whereas Nigerians are suffering. They are suffering insecurity, they are suffering inflation, they are suffering high cost of living, they are suffering high interest rate, and all these were created by the Nigerian politician. Tell me, I want to know, in what way is the Nigerian state helping our citizen? Do you know how many jobs and companies that the interest rate that was increased by Bola Ahmed Tinubu has destroyed? More than 10 major foreign companies have left the shores of this country since Tinubu became the president. This is because the country is unfavorable, unfriendly for their business to be conducted. The exit of these companies has led to the increase in the price of commodities in the market, and this is adding to the pains and sufferings of Nigerians. None of the government policies is geared towards helping Nigerians. How many of the government policies do you know is geared towards helping Nigerians educationally? How many scholarships do the government give to the Nigerian people? Other countries grant scholarship to their brightest brain, but Nigeria is abandoning her brightest brain. It is countries abroad that are even giving scholarship to Nigerian brightest brain to come over to their country and study because they understand the importance of bright brains. But here in Nigeria, our government is stifling education. No country go forward, no country move forward without a quality education. This is the reason why we are where we are today, because the quality of our education is dead. I hope you're not going to mention student loan because that is rubbish. How many of the politicians have access to loan? None of them have access to loan. They have access to free money. Other countries mandate their banks to give out loans to people that want to create jobs, that want to create businesses, that want to open companies. But here in Nigeria, if you go to seek loan in the bank, you'll be meant to pay high interest rate. And that is because it is the government that has increased the interest rate. Interest rate is even meant for those that can even access the loan, because millions of Nigerians out there cannot even access this loan. Tell me how the Nigerian people can survive with all of this. That is the reason why when you meet anyone in Nigeria, everything they talk about is how they can leave this country, how they can go to another country. Some of them even go as far as going to other African countries. Isn't it a shame that people from the giant of Africa, supposedly giant of Africa, are leaving Nigeria to other African countries? Nigeria used to be the big brother of Africa. Nigeria used to be referred as the giant of Africa. Nigeria is the most populous black nation on earth, but her citizens, they are abandoning their country to go to other African countries because they believe that they can be better off in that African country than in Nigeria. It is a shame. This is made possible by clueless leaders in the helm of power, and some of you are out there supporting them. You are supporting people that have not had any meaningful venture in your life, people that are not helping your life to become better persons. What a shame. What a shame. May God help us in this country. No, may we help ourselves, because God has given us everything to help ourselves. It is not in the place of God to come and help us anymore. It is us as people to help ourselves. And the only way we can do that is for us to stand together and fight these devourers who call themselves politicians, push them out of the way and become better persons for ourselves. We need to put our hands together and fix this country for ourselves, our unborn kids. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.